Welcome to Make48 Teacher Training. My name is Sharrell Howard, and I am the Educational Experience Strategist for the Make48 Education team. I'm so glad you're here. We've built this training to give you the tools, confidence, and support that you need to bring the Make48 innovation experience to life in your classroom. Before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I spent over 20 years in the architecture, engineering, and construction world before moving into education, where I taught career and technical education for 15 years. Along the way, I led several academies of engineering, trained other teachers, and focused on project-based learning. In 2015, I was honored as STEAM Innovative Teacher of the Year. And a couple of years later, I wrote the Professional Classroom Playbook, all about bridging the gap between industry and education. What's the bottom line? I love helping students connect what they've learned to real-world opportunities, and I'm excited to help you do the same. So what's this training all about? We'll walk through the Make48 framework, how the program is structured, and the key objectives to help you facilitate it smoothly. We'll talk about how to encourage creativity and innovation with all your students. Yes, even the ones that swear they're not creative. You'll see how this project brings together everything: math, science, language arts, communication, design, and yes, even art. Now, unlike other curriculums, the Make48 Innovation Experience doesn't rely on unit tests or quizzes. We use milestones and checkpoints along the way. We'll also cover ways that you can use formative and summative assessments to check in on your students' progress. This is truly a cross-curricular disciplinary experience. The innovation process pulls from everything your students have learned up to this point, no matter their background or their strengths. Now, I am excited to introduce you to your Make48 Dream Team. Here we go.
Hey guys, Tom Gray here, co-founder of Make48. The first thing I want to tell you is that I'm not actually a maker. I'm actually a sheep farmer, but I have spent the last 20 years bringing products to market, all the way from prototype to the consumer. This course was developed based on my frustrations that comes with the life cycle of a product. I hope that you find it engaging and can share this wisdom with your students. Good luck, teachers.
Hi, my name is Brett Kisker, and I'm the Director of Education for Make48, and I'm also a consultant for the DeBruce Foundation, which is a national nonprofit based here in Kansas City that helps people find their strengths and interests and then match those up with potential careers that they're going to love. In the past, I had a great career in the classroom for 15 years. In fact, I was the National Teacher of the Year for Project Lead the Way a while back, and I also had the opportunity to be the director of what was called Northland CAPS, which is an organization based in Kansas City that does work-based learning, runs internships, business partner projects, teaches students how to write resumes and things like that. The best advice that I could give you is to get your students talking to people about their ideas. The more that you can bring in outsiders, the better that your students are going to be. And quite honestly, it offloads the work. You're not supposed to be the expert in everything, so bring in those experts and let them give their feedback. In fact, I will say this: if students leave your classroom or leave this experience and they've never met anybody outside of your classroom, you have literally done them the greatest disservice that you could do to their professional life. So I want you to think about that. I want you to go out and find people in your local community and get them engaged and get them excited to work with your students. Your students are going to impress if you just get out of the way.
And then there's me, and I'll be your ongoing support person as you bring this experience to life in your classroom. If you need anything, I'm always just an email away. So what's the big idea? Why are we here? What is the big goal of the Make48 Innovation Experience? If I had to sum it up in one sentence, we're looking for the best idea with the most potential to go to market. Here's the thing. We've learned some of the best innovators aren't adults in boardrooms. They're middle schoolers, high schoolers, and college students. They're creative, fearless, and willing to take risks that many adults shy away from. And here's the secret: great ideas don't have an age limit. When we say the best idea with the most potential, we mean something a company can look at and say, yes, this solves a real problem, there's a market for it, and we can produce it at a reasonable cost. Whether your students are competing in the national tournament or just working on this experience inside your classroom, the goal is the same: create and pitch ideas with real-world potential. Now, let's talk about resources, because we want to make sure that you are not doing this alone. Our Creators Playbook and all of our instructional materials are delivered digitally through Thinkific at learn.make48.com. This makes everything accessible anytime, anywhere. When you log in, you'll land on a blue dashboard. You'll see 4 categories for teachers and 2 for students. First, teacher resources. This is where you'll find everything you need as a facilitator. Next, student resources. This includes the student-facing curriculum, standard challenges you can use anytime, and examples of projects at different build levels. Then, sponsored challenges. This is where you'll go if your school is involved in the national tournament or a company-sponsored challenge. And finally, communities, a teacher-only space. Think of it like Facebook, but for Make48 educators. It's your place to connect, collaborate, and share ideas. We know that many times you may be the only Make48 teacher at your school, and that's why this community exists, to make sure that you always have colleagues and peers to learn and laugh with along the way. That's the big picture of what we'll be covering in this training. Stick with me through this series, and by the end, you'll be ready to bring this exciting experience into your classroom with confidence.